A very good evening to everyone. I hope everybody is excited as we are. I'm just waiting for my co-pilot today, Mr. Daniel Fire. Usually he says that I'm his co-pilot. Today I have the honor to call him my co-pilot, and there he is.
Absolutely. Flying on your left, Mr. Unity Global, Mr. Fabian Fitzner. How is everybody tonight?
So let's give us some love on Facebook. Let's give us some love over here because we are super excited for our very special guest, which not only is one of the most recognized stem cell specialists, anti-aging specialists, but also became a good friend over the last years, I have to say. And I think we both have some stories about him, right?
Absolutely. So in fact, I'm so honored that he's on our call tonight. Last year, I did a trip with my dad. Some of you know that. We did a trip to Mexico and also to New Jersey to his clinic because we were working with some exclusive stem cell treatments. In fact, even me and Stefania, we got our own stem cells collected, and they are now safely stored in a stem cell bank. And it is absolutely insane the amount of, the amount of knowledge this guy has. He was himself, and he can tell the story better than us, but nominated for Nobel Prize for his unbelievable achievements. And he told us that he was invited by the Vatican to present his studies and a lot of things. And I don't even want to tap into anything that I'm not supposed to say, but it is absolutely special to have him on here tonight. Fabian, I want to give a big, big thank you to you who made that possible to have Dr. Giampapa on this call tonight. So I also, for that reason and for many other reasons, because you're incredible, I want to give you the honor to introduce him and, of course, promote him to this webinar tonight for our Unity Global family.
Thank you very much. And before we do that, we just had a conversation. We actually came a bit earlier into here and we were talking like we always do. And so one thing what most people don't know about him, he's not only one of the most recognized researchers in that field of anti-aging, a Nobel Prize nominee, running 2 different clinics, doing the whole business with Jeunesse, continuing with his research. He also holds, watch out all my fellow martial artists, he holds a 5th degree black belt in Taekwondo. He also holds a 4th degree black belt in Aikido. And I just found a few pictures I want to share with you because here's the thing. One thing is talking about what somebody should do. The other thing is to really do it. I'm going to show you a few pictures I got from Dr. G training. So this is one actually, I think it's like 2 to 3 years ago. So you see he's quite active, but I found a few cooler ones actually, which I want to show you. So here's another one of him just doing his training. So you see, this guy is quite in a good shape, okay? So not too bad. And then I saw like, man, don't you have something like the old fashioned, like Jean-Claude Van Damme? Of course he has. Here's one where he's even doing the splits. So you can see he really knows what he's doing, what he's talking about, because he lives the lifestyle. And I want to show you one last thing, which I found like super impressive, which is a little like super short video of him training, which is this one over here.
Start.
So I don't know how many people can actually do that, and especially when they're already 40 years old, like Dr. G. So that's how you should train, you know. And so everything he's talking about is what he lives. It's all about lifestyle. It's all about doing what you walk the talk, basically. And I would just say, let's welcome him finally in our call. We're super excited. And we do that with a little video which represents all of his studies, what he's doing. And after the video, he will be on here for whatever time we need to spend with him. So I would say let's quickly roll the video, and this one explains a lot. It's the newest video about AM/PM we have in the back office, and this one is super exciting. Just listen to that one.
The human body is home to 37 trillion cells, each processing thousands of pieces of gene-composed DNA every minute. Our bodies are essentially biological computers running on DNA software, with enough DNA in each cell to stretch from the Earth to the Sun 300 times. Just as a computer or its software can be damaged, the function of our stem cells and body cells declines as we age. With AM and PM Essentials from Jeunesse, you can support your body's well-being. AM and PM Essentials combines plant extracts, herbs, probiotics, amino acids, vitamins, and minerals to support your body's daytime and nighttime needs. AM and PM Essentials tablets contain the same key ingredient categories for the same support and effects. AM and PM Essentials packets are easy to take with you wherever you go. Mix a packet in water. It's a great way to take care of your human machine and the software it runs on. You only have one body. Give it the best you can with AM and PM Essentials, featuring formulas that work at the source of your cell's genetic software, taking an evolutionary step beyond vitamins and minerals. As part of your daily lifestyle, they can also help you wake up with more energy and experience more restful sleep.
So here we go, the newest AM PM video, and you all listen to that one phrase. It's a software upgrade for your DNA. So please welcome with a lot of love and let the chat explode. Here is Dr. Vincent Giampapa.
Hi, Danny and Fabian, my pleasure. I'm coming to you from the mountains of Pennsylvania, where I've been here for over 5 weeks, staying away from New York and New Jersey's episodes at the moment. But just to tie that all together, I wanted to make a little comment. I created a blog for Jeunesse, which Fabian has, he'll share with you. But I wanted to talk to you about some of the things we can do to stay a little extra safe, but more importantly, how do we keep our immune system strong? So with that, I just want to go over that the blog quickly, and Fabian can share that with all of you if you choose.
Will do, yeah.
So with the COVID-19 pandemic, people are focused more than ever on their immune systems. And it's really common knowledge that to stay healthy, we need to keep our immune system as strong as possible. And that's great advice, but the path to a healthy immune system can be complicated if you really don't know what to do. Because there's a lot we still don't know about the ins and outs of the immune response. This means there's not just one thing we can do or pill we can take to boost it. Instead, we should focus on the only 2 factors we can control. That's defense and offense. So we can fight whatever it is, bacteria, viruses, better, whether with this epidemic or others successfully, and we successfully heal our bodies from within. A strong defense, we need to be aware of these key areas of contamination in general today. And that is, the best defense is avoiding or minimizing exposure to germs in general. You likely already know that the importance of washing your hands, avoiding contact with those who are sick, and avoiding crowded places are really important. However, there are 3 little known risk factors you should be aware of. Credit card pins and screens, for instance. Who knows how many people touched the credit card checkout screen before you did? And touching that screen with your fingers or even grabbing the pen stylus means contaminating your hands. Touching these pin pads is dirtier than touching the phones of several strangers. So what's the solution? Use your credit card corner to push the buttons and tap on the screen, or use your own pen stylus when you're checking out a credit card kiosk, or ask the checkout worker to process your sale for yourself. And second area, public door handles. Now this could be the door handles for pretty much any building you enter. Door handles are touched daily or are not cleaned often enough, so they get dirty and are high sources of contamination. The solution to this is just open the door with your foot by pushing your toe against the bottom of the door, or push the doors, or for pull doors, use your shirt to grab that part of the handle in general, particularly the bottom of the handle. And lastly, this is another one, frankly, as I was researching this, I really didn't even know, and that has to do with the following. Most people wear shoes inside their houses, even though shoes show over 100,000 different types of bacteria. And even viruses can be found in the bottom of most shoes. So this is especially risky if you have pets or kids that come in contact with the floor and then spread the contagions from the floor all over your house. Solution, don't wear your shoes in your house. And here in the US, a lot of us don't take our shoes off, and we're now learning to do that just for that reason. So let's really talk about what we can do and how Jeunesse is related to this. So a strong offense is the most important thing, and the key products from Jeunesse, I want you to know, can really help with this. So the bottom line is, how do we boost our immune system? So the first thing we do is we need to eat a diet of diverse foods, okay, including fruits and vegetables, nutrient-rich anthocyanidine complexes, a lot of antioxidants. Studies have shown that antioxidants in particular can help your body fight viral infections and bacterial infections. And these are found in AM, PM Essentials and Reserve. So there's 2 products right now. If you take prebiotics and probiotics, okay, to promote a healthy gut, this is very important because it's our small intestine that actually produces the immunoglobulins in certain sections of our small intestines where there's lymphoid tissue. Okay, so AM/PM Essentials has probiotics, Zen Fuse and Zen Prime have prebiotics. So again, this is an interesting combination of ingredients that are already present, in the Jeunesse products. Take your vitamins to fill in the nutritional gaps, not just satisfied in what you can get from your food alone. So Jeunesse AM/PM Essentials is the best way to do this with all your key vitamins and minerals and things to keep our cells functioning more optimally. Let's just talk about a couple key vitamins, which are essentially related to immune function. Vitamin C is one of the biggest immune system boosters of all. A lack of vitamin C can even make you more prone to getting sick. And studies have shown very high doses of vitamin C really can help your body fight off viral infections. Vitamin B6 is vital to supporting key biochemical reactions in the immune system. And vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant, helps fight off infection. And zinc is a powerful mineral that inhibits viral replication. So far we're starting to see, we have all these key essential compounds already in the products that we have from Jeunesse. Now, exercise regularly is so important. Why? Exercise changes over 30 different genes. Exercise drops cortisol levels, which is the age accelerating hormone, and raises DHEA, which is the anti-aging hormone. And the secret is maintaining a healthy weight. I don't know if you know this, but the more body fat you have, the more pro-inflammatory your whole body is. So by keeping yourself leaner, you have less inflammation. And guess what? Viruses love an inflammatory environment. That's how they replicate more quickly. So keeping a body composition is not only good to help avoid inflammation, but by maintaining more muscle mass too, you again help keep your ideal hormone levels optimal. Okay, so what are some of the other things? But, by the way, Zen Fuse, Zen Prime are excellent products for maintaining ideal body composition. And remember, the Zen program is about dieting. It's about changing your body composition, more muscle, less body fat, which has, as I said, major positive impacts on over 30 different genes that are related to living a healthier, longer life. Okay, so what are the other things? Avoid alcohol, okay, or drink only in moderation. Alcohol at night is a stimulus, believe it or not, and interferes with regular sleep patterns. And so we'll talk about sleep now. The recent research, and I just finished a whole new book on sleep, shows that if you don't sleep a minimum of 7 hours a day, 7 hours, which many of us don't do, your incidence of cardiovascular disease, heart attack, stroke, Alzheimer's, and immune deficiency is 6 times greater than the average person. So how important is sleep? Well, I would say sleep is probably one of the most important things we need to do. And especially when our bodies are under stress like they are today in this episode we're dealing with, you really have to get extra sleep, okay? So let's focus on that also in any lifestyle change we're doing. Stress. So stress is one of the things that's really hard to kind of do these days because we're all stuck inside. We have all these other business things and family friends we can't meet and talk to. But one of the best ways to decrease stress is to take at least 5 to 10 minutes a day and practice just deep breathing and shutting our eyes and really focusing on listening to our breath and in general, listening to what our ears are picking up, which should be very, very little. So resetting your immune system really, or enhancing the potential for your immune system to work optimally, Zen Fuse, Zen Prime, AM, PM. And I want to talk about one other thing, is that the importance of keeping our stem cell numbers in optimal levels. So if we look at the key process. Ooh, did I lose you? Did I lose you?
Oh, you're still there. Everything's good.
Okay, my screen went blank. I'm not sure why, but you're still there?
We can still see and hear you. Everything's good.
Okay, so here's the key thing. As we age, we lose our stem cell numbers, and not only the numbers of stem cells, but the function of stem cells. And with Vita Blue, this is one of the few products, when you take Vita Blue, what you can actually do is increase the number of your stem cells. Now, why is that important? It's because from certain types of stem cells come our T cells, our B cells, which are our cellular immunity. So the higher number of stem cells we have, the stronger our immune function is too. So we're starting to see that this bundle or package of AM/PM AM/PM, Vita Blue, and Zen Fuse and Zen Prime are an ideal combination to help keep our immune function, enhance and help our immune function work optimally. So today I'm going to talk a little bit more in detail about the importance of AM/PM as quotes our upgrade of our genetic software, because these days we're looking at ourselves basically as biological machines running on 100 trillion cells, and each one of those cells is like a micro mini computer. And it is that micro mini computer, or our cell, really is based on DNA. And DNA now, even Bill Gates says, and quote, that DNA is probably the most complicated complicated genetic software we've ever seen, and far, far more complicated than any computer program or software program we've ever seen. So we as scientists are looking at the genetic code that makes us unique, literally as a genetic software program. Okay, so I'm sorry, my screen just went blank and I don't see my slides. So let me see if I can find that.
Okay, so as you do that, let me quickly wrap up a little bit what you said. So just for everybody who's here on the call, first of all, if you like the information you've just seen about how to prevent yourself from everything, then just type a 1 into the chat so we can see you're here. Perfect. Okay, so if you like that information, then just give us some love. Amazing. So everything Dr. G has said so far is in his blog, which I will give to everyone, okay? After that call, I'm going to shoot that vlog in all the different... Now Dr. G actually left the chat, but he will be back soon. So I will give you a blog, and you can just have a look at it and check it out, okay? So... Daniel, if you can take over for a second, I do the technical part with Dr. G, because it's the first time he's using Zoom, and so that's why we went in 30 minutes before. So I just make sure he's...
No problem. No, it's absolutely fascinating for me to see that through Jeunesse, you know, we have access to people such as Dr. Vincent Giampapa, a guy that is worldwide famous. He's working with some of the most high-profile people in the world. Honestly, when I was in New Jersey, and I know I can't really talk about his clients or anything, but there was a wall of people, you know, with pictures that were in the clinic, and some of those people, you see them every day in the news. Okay, I'm gonna go that far, and so some of the most influential people in the world, they rely on their information from Dr. Vincent Giampapa, and he is connected with a lot of people, also whose names we just heard him mention in a direct way and in indirect ways. And he is, and he's a real capacity. Let's put it that way, okay? And he's been doing a lot of research, and it makes me very proud to know that he is now also actively involved in, you know, the development together with Christian Drapeau that we already had for Vita Blue. And then, of course, his signature product, AM/PM. That was originally developed by a company called Healthy Cell, which is his company. And then this was the flagship product, and Jeunesse took Dr. Vincent Giampapa on board for all of us to enjoy that product. And I know, Fabi, you also have a lot of very deep conversations that you have had with Dr. G about a lot of different things. And once we really start talking about, you know, what he thinks is possible in the future and what we can do, and let's talk about just one thing. Sorry, but everybody was asking in the chat, and let me see.
Everybody wants to know his age, but nobody knows his age.
What is his age? Because see, this is something I'm not trying to be in any way, you know, private, but the truth is the level of fitness that he has in his age is absolutely outstanding. It's ridiculous, to be honest. It's very, very crazy. If I think about my grandparents, they are different in that age. So it's really, really impressive. Awesome. So
I'm back.
Whatever he's teaching works. Aging rejuvenation. Oh, you're back, Dr. G. That's awesome.
Yeah, we had a power outage, so I apologize.
No worries, no worries.
Okay. So I just got on. I'm not sure what you said behind my back, but I
we said all the terrible things. No, look, honestly, I said this. I said that. Look, just to kind of give some background, I said that I was in the clinic with my dad in New Jersey. And by the way, my dad's online right now.
Oh, great.
So this is really cool. And I just said that obviously when you're in the clinic, I can't say any names, maybe you can, but I just said, like, I saw a lot of pictures of people that work with you directly. And those are some of the people see in the news every day without mentioning any names. So some of the real, influential people. And also what really impressed me when I was with you, we were talking about how you actually did that research that then was nominated and how you got invited by the Vatican to all that. And I don't want to go into details, but maybe you can, because this is really, really interesting and big stuff. Because people sometimes, sorry, just last thing, people sometimes, they look at network marketing companies and they're like, yeah, it's just a business. Is it real products? Because we know there's a lot of poor products in network marketing too, but this is a whole different league. And thank you so much again for being on.
Oh, listen, it's my pleasure. So what I'm trying to say is that, the research we did on cell aging is the basic components or concepts are exactly what helped me create AMPM. And that is that our cells are basically genetic software programs. And by picking specific types of supplements or ingredients, each one of those ingredients can turn up the genes that are positive for aging or turn down the genes that are negative for aging. So exploring natural compounds, plant extracts, vitamin mineral complexes, fruits, enzymes. We did intensive research and figured out exactly what the compounds were necessary in order to amplify or help the genes that keep us healthier longer really work. And at the end of my PowerPoint presentation, I'm going to show you for the first time the proof that AMPM actually turns on the genes for longevity, and AMPM actually augments the genes that help make more stem cells and stem cells that can turn into different tissues. Now, I don't think there is any other, in fact, I know there's no other supplement anywhere in the world that's been able to document that. So I'm excited to include just a few slides for that study at the end. But in the meantime, I think it's really important when we learn something, a concept, even though it's for cells and other things, we can use that same concept to create new other products and new things that can help us stay healthy. My whole goal is to touch as many people as we can to help them stay youthful and youthful functioning, but healthier too, so that we all enjoy our lives and our family and friends. So with that, shall we get started with the PowerPoint?
Let's do it.
Okay.
We'll leave you the screen so you have the full screen, and we'll be back in the end.
Are we up here? Everybody can see that?
Not yet.
Okay.
Take your time, no worries. I already informed everybody it's your first time on Zoom. So
no, I guess I got to share this, right? I'm just trying to find.
Exactly.
All right, let me go back here and share my screen with you. Share, number one. Okay. And my PowerPoint is not up on this. on the screen. Do you see it?
Not yet. You just click, you go below on the green button where it says share screen.
Yep, right here.
Then you select like the whole desktop. That's the best solution. There we go.
Okay.
There we are. Perfect.
You're a great tutor. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm learning this. I've been home for 5 weeks here, so I'm really learning this. So let's get going. And so what is AMPM? Why did I create AMPM? I created AMPM so we could take one product that dramatically impacts the function of the 100 trillion cells in our body, but also our stem cells, which are so important to stay healthy and functional. So, okay, let's go back here. So when we look at the YES system, one of the most important things is that the YES system has been designed on 3 major components. Number one, or concepts, I think is a better word. Number one, the products are experiential. So if you're using an oral product or a topical product, you either see or feel the difference. Now that's unique. Number two is the products work from the inner aspect of our bodies, from the cell level outward to the skin, and from the skin inward. Okay. And lastly, and probably most importantly, the products work in synergy. That means if you're taking AMPM alone, you notice something. But if you take AMPM Zen and Vita Blue together, the impact of what you feel and see is even greater. And that goes with, for instance, taking Luminesce and AMPM. The net results of your skin are better. Or taking Mind and Reserve together. So the secret is synergy, okay? And when we design products or bring a new product into the YES system, the concept is, will that help the other products work more optimally? And the answer is yes. And so synergy is a major focus. So AMPM basically has been positioned at the bottom of the pyramid of the YES system because my goal for creating and putting the ingredients in these 2 formulas was to enhance how cells work, both stem cells and body cells. So right now, we're all in different states of health. Some of us are in good health. Some of us are in average health. Some of us are in poor health. And that all is directly related to how your body cells functioning and your stem cells are functioning. So the ingredients in AMPM help take those cells and your state of health to a new level. The outside of the cell is full of little parking spots or receptors for chemicals and signals. So AMPM helps those receptors work better. And AMPM actually takes both groups of those cells, your stem cells and body cells, and enhances the effectiveness of how they work, which is why you take AMPM, you take Reserve, Affinity. As you're taking the additional products, the synergy concept comes into effect, and AMPM helps each one of those cells receive the ingredients in the other product more efficiently for a better result. So let's do this. Okay, we talked about 2 major types of cells in our body, our somatic or body cells and our adult stem cells. Now, why is this important? It's because it's our stem cells that replace and repair our damaged body cells as we age, or if we're in, for instance, an accident or have trauma, but also if we get infected or we have something, a virus or a bacteria, those cells get destroyed and our stem cells have to be an adequate number and function to replace those body cells, or our health fails and our function fails. So what do stem cells, what can they do for us? Well, our stem cells, which are mainly found in our bone marrow, but some of them, there are some cells in each one of the organs in our body, which are kind of dormant or asleep. But our stem cells can turn into, especially ones from our bone marrow, can turn into over 220 different types of cells, from brain tissue to lung to heart to liver to kidney function to skin to bone to everything. So here's the secret. We are all born with a fixed number of stem cells. So each of us might be born with a little more or a little less. And the secret is, instead of losing that number of stem cells, but also losing the function of those cells every year as we age, the secret is to maintain that number and function. So with Vita Blue, we have a product that can help increase the number, okay? With AMPM, we have a product that can help repair the damage to the genetic software, okay? And as we get older, okay, it's invariably we're going to lose certain numbers of our stem cells and our body cells. But today, as Danian has attested, and so Stefania, They've collected their stem cells, and every year they're going to be getting back hundreds of millions of a special type of stem cell that has no damage and is unbelievably effective in keeping them young and functioning. So we'll talk a little bit more about the new technologies for cellular therapy towards the end of this. Okay, so AMPM's original concept was to focus on restoring the function of both of these groups of cells. So I was just mentioning this, as we age, when we age, and there's two different types of aging. There's called developmental or positive aging. That is when we're young and an adolescent up until we're mature adults, we're using up the number of stem cells we have to become an ideal healthy adult. Now that's positive aging, and that's what we want to do. Okay, we would call it developmental aging. But what happens is, as years start to go by, we lose the number of stem cells. But more importantly, we start to produce damaged cells. And these damaged cells are called senescent cells. And then in the literature, you'll see they're referred to as zombie cells. Why? Because these damaged body cells and stem cells produce compounds that actually cause your healthy cells to age quicker. So we now know that it's not just loss of stem cells, but it's this accumulation of these nasty damaged cells that accelerate aging too. And we're going to talk about some of the newer things we have to remove those. And so this is going to get more exciting as we go on. So there's three basic types of stem cells in our bodies. Okay, and they begin to decline at age 25. Did you hear me? 25. So at that age, most of us still think we're immortal, but we're really not, okay? So the three types of stem cells that are produced mainly in the bone marrow, the chest, and bones of our body are hematopoietic stem cells, which produce our immune system, and endothelial cells, endothelial progenitor cells, which grow and restore blood vessels. And the last type of stem cells are mesenchymal or mesenchymal stem cells. These are the ones that can morph into muscle, bone, cartilage, brain tissue. So we have to keep all three of those stem cell types in optimal number and function. And that's what we're doing these days. Here's Bill Gates' comment I made at the beginning. DNA is like a computer program, but far, far more advanced than any software we've ever created. And frankly, this has switched and changed our whole concept of how can we edit, how can we improve the aging process. Okay. So just like a computer program's software gets a virus and crashes, so does our DNA software inside our cells. It begins to malfunction, and the result is we age quickly and we have poor health, okay? But let me explain something, and this is also built into the formula of AMPM. We have two main software programs, if you will, or genetic software programs in each cell. Our day program, we have, first of all, the first program is the program that enhances the function of our body cells and our stem cells. The second program is the night-wake cycle. So in each one of our cells, there's a genetic program that causes that cell to do specific functions at night, and which are mainly DNA repair, cell repair, DNA repair, detoxification. And in the daytime, the software that's programmed in our cells is focused on producing energy, mental focus, and also, if you will, elevating and maintaining the right hormones for the day. So once we found that out, the question was, well, how can we augment those software programs? Okay. So AMPM, it's so essential not to think of AMPM as vitamins and minerals. Only 20% of what's in AMPM are really vitamins and minerals. The other 80% are probiotics, prebiotics, digestive enzymes, plant extracts, fruit extracts, and a host of other compounds that actually help turn on and off specific genes. Now, over hundreds of thousands, even 500,000 years, human beings, we evolved on natural occurring products. That is, plants, fruits, enzymes that were naturally contained in these things. But during that process of evolution, which is what created our present genetic software, these ingredients were not always available all year long, or they weren't available in specific portions of the world. So what we did is we looked at which compounds we now know interact with the key genes we wanted to improve, and we now supply in AMPM all year long, these key extracts, the key enzymes, the key fruit extracts, in that product. So we don't have to worry about not getting what we need 12 months a year, but we're also getting a purified concentrated extract of the active ingredients. So this is a whole new concept in cellular health. So we talked about experience being one of the most important things for the Yes system, right? And let's take a closer look at this study we did with over 300 people. So one of the key things we looked at was when people take AM/PM in 4 weeks, their energy improved dramatically. But at 8 weeks, it went up even further. So at 8 weeks, at 8 weeks, it went up, 8 weeks, it went up fanatically, just tremendously. At 12 weeks, it went up even further. And at 12 weeks, we see the experiential effect kind of levels off. And so this first 8 weeks is what we call nutritional loading, because the ingredients in AM/PM are getting into your cell where these ingredients weren't available before to turn on that genetic machinery. Now, for up to 12 weeks, those nutrients actually continue to go into the cell, but they're there in even a greater quantity than your cell actually needs for daily function, but they're there to be used when the cell is under attack. So that's called nutritional reserve, okay? Now, so let's look at this. In 8 and 12 weeks, the most important thing that we saw in 88, there was an 88% improvement in virtually all the people taking this in sleep. Now, sleep, you think, why is sleep so important? As I said when we started, we now have new information that if you don't sleep 7 hours a day and get deep sleep, what happens is your incidence of cardiovascular disease, stroke, cancer, Alzheimer's disease, and immune suppression is 6 times greater than the average person. Now, if we have created a medical capsule or something we could sell to the medical market that had that statistics, we could have gone in a completely different route and probably made billions of dollars. But these are all natural compounds. Mental focus went up dramatically, okay, in the morning. Health. Now, when we asked people, how often were you getting sick? 50% of people at 12 weeks say they were getting sick much, much less. And then stress, as we all know. Now, there's different types of stress. There's psychological stress, there's dietary stress, there's physical stress. But stress in general, how people felt anxious, 62% of people felt better. Now, that's better than a lot of antipsychotic drugs. So when we look at AM/PM and we look at subjective findings, we find an amazing, amazing improvement in quality of health. And for the first time, I'm going to show you in just a few moments why that happens at the genetic level. Okay. So that secondary genetic software built into the AM/PM system is chronobiology. And so what is that? Is that, we have been designed as human beings to sleep at night and to be alert and have energy in the morning. So AM/PM's focus is energy and mental focus, okay? PM's ingredients, which are different in certain categories, help improve sleep, duration and depth of sleep, and cellular repair, along with detoxification. So what is detoxification? So detoxification is really talking about during the day, as your cells are functioning, there's waste products produced. Those waste products have to be removed from the cell, go into the space between the surrounding cells and be flushed out. But also that happens at the organ level. So your liver, okay, your heart, your kidneys all have to remove the waste products that they have produced during the day. And if you don't get deep sleep, that doesn't happen. Now, one of the interesting things I just read is the beta amyloid protein found in Alzheimer's patients, okay, is something that accumulates. Now, what they found out that if you're not sleeping, okay, there's a system in the brain that allows the neurons to remove their toxic elements that they produce during the day. And it's almost like a microlymphatic system. And what they found is if you're not getting 7 hours of sleep, the brain's detoxification system can't remove the ingredients, and you continue to build up the amyloid plaques, and you end up with Alzheimer's disease. Now, that only occurs in deep REM sleep. So what happens is if you're not getting the right types of sleep, those proteins which are detrimental to your memory and your brain in general, they're not removed, these negative proteins aren't removed, and you end up with a major cognitive impairment. So sleep is essential. So basically the ingredients in AM/PM have been categorized in a number of groupings, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Now, DNA damage is what initiates the aging process in every one of those 100 trillion cells. So our bodies have to be able to fix that genetic damage, which is just like a virus entering your computer. And once you end up with a specific amount of disease, damage to your DNA, just like a computer, your cell will crash, it'll die. And then you have to call in your stem cells to replace that cell that was damaged by DNA, that was damaged, had too much damage to their DNA to function. But now you're using more and more of your stem cell pool down. And when you run out of stem cells is when you age quickly and die. So DNA repair and avoidance of damage is very, very important. Let's take a look at a couple of other things. So the groupings that we normally, the ingredients at AM/PM are specific areas of groupings or ingredients that each component or compartment of the cell needs. So DNA repair, there's ingredients for DNA repair to help avoid that damage to our genetic software. There's compounds that help with stem cell maintenance and function. There's compounds that help protect your telomeres from shortening, because then your cells will be limited in how many divisions they can make. There's compounds that suck up the free radicals so they don't create damage to the cell and DNA. There's cell regulation complexes which help balance the sleep-wake cycle. And there's a calorie restriction complex. That is, there are certain ingredients that turn on the genes that are responsible for longevity and health. And I'll show you the proof of that in just a minute. Now, whether you're taking AM/PM tablets or powder, there's the same groupings of ingredients. Now, the ingredients might change in some of these categories due to regulations and restrictions in each country in general, but the secret is there's more than one ingredient that if something has to be removed, there's still more than one ingredient that impacts the area in the cell we want. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So we've all talked about this. You know, people used to say to me, and you've heard me say, well, gee, if my father had the genes for high blood pressure, Alzheimer's, I'm just going to get it. That is not true, because your state of health, how healthy you are, how your quality of life is directly related to your genes plus your environment, how they fit together. So if you're taking these products from Jeunesse, you're giving yourself the best chance to alter those the correct genes up and the bad genes down. But you can't be sitting at home on the couch and eating McDonald's or Wiener Schnitzel every night and expect to have the optimal results. So the secret is having a moderate, healthy diet, exercising at least 4 times a week for a minimum of 30 to 40 minutes, drinking plenty of water to help your body flush out those toxins from your brain down to the bottom of your toes. So it's a combination of your genes plus environment. And we at Jeunesse are helping you with the latest science to help the genes that need to be active to be on. And as I said before, you inherit genetic possibilities, not genetic certainties. And 70% of the genes that you have are directly related to your lifestyle. So who's the one that's in charge of how healthy you really can be is you. Okay, so factors that can help maintain ideal immune function. Sleep, we talked about over and over, 7 hours minimal a day. Pre and probiotics, why? Your small intestine, where the bacteria live inside you, is essential for a number of things. Number one, when you have the right mixture of pre and probiotics, your bacterial flora, or the healthy bacteria, helps digest certain components of the food you eat, so you get more nutrient value and vitamins and minerals out of the food you eat. More importantly, your small intestine, believe it or not, is a site of the majority of your immunological system, the system that's involved in your blood, your IgG, your IgM. Those are the key immunoglobulins that help protect your cells from damage from viruses and bacteria. So without a healthy intestinal tract, you're not keeping your immune system as optimal as you can. The key vitamins and minerals we talked about that are really directly related to immune function is vitamin C, B6, E, and D3. There's a plethora of published papers that show that without the sufficient levels of these vitamins, you're not going to have an ideal immune function. Now, general body inflammation. We talked about this in the beginning. The more body fat you have, the more inflammation you have. And the more body fat you have, the more problems you have with your insulin levels, which again accelerate aging. Okay. So how do we bring down body inflammation? We look at certain foods, particularly cold water fish, which have very high amounts of omega-3, 6, and 9 anti-inflammatory acids. We look at eating more vegetables, which can help with bringing roughage, which help bringing down inflammatory levels. But really what we can do is exercise. Now, as I said, exercise can change at least 30 different genes. But the real secret of exercise is your body composition. You want to have more muscle mass and body fat and less body fat as you age. You remember when you were young, you look at pictures of yourself. Gee, you looked thin, you looked fit. You hit your 30s, late 30s, early 40s, you start to look, well, not so great. You hit your 50s and 60s and you notice what used to be up on your shoulders now is down around your waist, and you're gaining a lot of body fat. Okay, now that body fat and that loss of muscle mass directly impacts body inflammation, but it impacts your function, it impacts your psychological sense of who you are. So we can change that, and that's why Zen, Fuse Zen Prime, AM/PM, along with Vita Blue supply all the ingredients to really, really help not just your immune function, but your whole body composition, which makes a big impact in how you feel about yourself. And it's not just psychological. Exercise enhances what we call key neuropeptides, okay? And these are things that help keep you happy. These are things that help you with focus. These are things that help you want to be creative and basically enjoy your day. So exercise is one of the best ways also to enhance your immune function and general aging. So let's take a look at this study that I talked about a couple of times. Last year, it was about a year and a half ago, when I was in Taiwan, I had the opportunity to speak to some of the doctors there. And they said, well, you know, this is great. We like AM/PM and we feel better, but do we really need it? Do we really know how it works? So what I explained to them was, let's do this. Let's take AM and PM and give them to the same animals that we test medicines on, like pharmaceutical drugs. And let's do the following. Let's see if AM/PM can augment the genes involved in longevity. Those are called the calorie restriction or SIRT1 genes. And they said, well, that's a good idea. We can do that. That's pretty easy. Well, what else do you want to do? And I said, well, let's take the genes that are involved in making more stem cells and having those stem cells divide into muscle, bone, cartilage. And I said, well, he said, what are those? And I said, well, I just happen to know off the top of my head, those are genes called the ECAT gene and NANOG genes. I said, do you have tests for that? And they said, well, yeah, we have tests for that. So here's what we did. We had a group of animals take AM alone, a group of animals take PM alone, and another group take AM and PM together. And so let me show you the amazing results that we were able to have. So the people who took PM, the animals who took PM genes, you'll see these little black squares get bigger and bigger and bigger. And these Ds really refer to weeks. So at week 1, the genes are the longevity gene here was a little active. 2 was more, 3 was 2 was more, and 3 was even further active. So this was amazing because we didn't realize that the groupings in PM would do that. Then we looked at the effect of PM on the NANOG genes, which are the ones that help make more copies of stem cells, and the ECAT genes, which help help differentiate stem cells into different types of cells. And you see here, the ECAT genes really got turned on as well as the NANOG genes. So now we had proof that PM increased both of these key, the longevity genes and the stem cell genes. Now we went back to AM, and what was amazing is we saw AM did the exact same thing. The genes for longevity, the SIRT1 families, got more and more active as the weeks went by, and the NANOG genes also, okay? PM had a little more dramatic effect on the stem cell function and numbers than AM, but AM had more of a effect on the SIRT1 genes or the longevity genes. Now, yes, you're going to say, well, this was in animals, and what does it mean in humans? Well, these are the studies we use to create credibility behind a concept, a science concept. So I think, look, I'm so excited for the first time. We have genetic proof, things that in animals, and these are mammals like we are, that we really have a combination of natural ingredients that can really selectively increase the genes for longevity and stem cell function. So I think we're doing something at Jeunesse that is really amazing, and very few people, no other company I know is doing anything close to this. So as we start to summarize things here, AM/PM is really a genetic upgrade for each one of the 100 trillion cells of your body to help the cells work more efficiently, to help your secondary genetic system, sleep-wake cycle, be more efficient, for energy in the morning, sleep at night, detoxification. And in general, it helps the other ingredients and all the other products even be a little more impactful on every one of the cells that these ingredients enter your body. So Mark McDonald and I have worked for the last 2 years together on an interesting study. We were looking at, gee, what does AM and PM do for body composition? And I showed Mark some of the studies I've been doing that most people take AM, PM alone, lose body fat, they gain a little muscle mass, but they don't lose a lot of pounds. They might lose 3 or 4 pounds, but their whole body composition shifts. Their inflammation levels went down. So he said, Dr. G, we need to add protein and more digestive enzymes, because AM/PM has probiotics, digestive enzymes, and so does Zen Fuse have digestive enzymes. So we added these together, and what we saw was amazing, because people use both of these products have even a bigger impact on how their body composition changes quicker and looks even better. And so again, we had proof of the concept of the S system, the synergy concept. Okay, so now we started to look at immune function. We know AM/PM helps drop inflammation. It helps with DNA repair. Okay, it helps maintaining stem cell numbers. Vita Blue, we know by clinical trials, actually increases the number of all 3 of those stem cell types, and the most important ones being hematopoietic stem cells, which make our immune function. Now, Zen Prime and Zen Fuse do a number of things that are synergistic with AM and PM. That is, they have probiotics, prebiotics, which help our immune system and our small intestine be more efficient at making those immunoglobulins, but they supply the protein that these other 2 products don't. So why is protein important? Every cell in the body needs protein to do the following. DNA creates RNA, which is made of amino acids. RNA creates thousands of different types of proteins. The proteins are what makes up our tissues and organs and our body. But if we're not ingesting the right amount and type of protein, our genetic software won't replicate and make the proteins we need for a healthy body and a healthy immune system. So we put all 3 of these products together to help the small intestines, to help with digesting more of the food we eat, both AM and PM with the digestive enzymes, and Vita Blue to help maintain the number of stem cells. So this is something that we're not claiming that this cures diseases. We're claiming that the ingredients in each one of these 3 products have been shown in independent studies to independently help enhance immune function. And together, we believe this is a major kind of revolutionary approach to naturally helping your body maintain a healthier immune function. So let me just answer a couple of questions. Everybody says to me, gee, when should I start taking AM/PM? At what age? How many can I take? So let me run down some of the most common asked questions. Most people, we suggest you take 2 AMs and 2 PMs. If you're a small Asian person who's 100 pounds or less, you could probably do well with 1 AM and 1 PM. Excuse me. If you're Fabian Fitzner, who's a mini Hulk, you probably need 3 AMs and 3 PMs, okay? What I do, and what a lot of people do, is I take 2 AMs in the morning. I take another 1 or 2 AMs at lunch, usually 1. And at night, I will take 2 or 3 PMs just to make sure I get my full sleep. Now, during the day, okay, I'll take my Zen Fuse in the morning. My Zen Fuse in the morning after my breakfast, maybe around 10:30. I'll take my Zen Fuse again to get my additional protein in mid-afternoon. Okay, and if I really feel my body stressed, I might take an additional reserve in late afternoon or late morning. But the secret is you can adjust the amount of AM PM tablets based on how you feel, how big you are, and what you want to accomplish. So it's a fun thing to do, because you may just say, I think I'm sleeping better. Well, try one additional PM. It may make you sleep longer and better. And in midday, I'm telling you, most of my patients take 1 or 2 AMs at lunchtime. So again, you can do this. Age-wise, we tell people, look, 18 and up is safe to take AM PM. If you're pregnant, have high blood pressure, cancer, any disease, you need to check with your physician and have him make the final decision, okay? And this is something we have to stress. We can't be making claims about Jeunesse products that are not backed by support of your physician or the medical societies and publications in general. So AM/PM's essential is more than a vitamin mineral supplement. You have to think of the following. Look at yourself differently. We're biological machines made up of 100 trillion cells of microcomputers. And each one of those computers is driven and runs on genetic software. And we're now understanding what genes have to be the ideal ones that turn on genetically and what ones we should turn off, which is what AM/PM's concept was designed around. And most people ask me, well, this is all great, but if we are genetic software, who's the programmer? And I tell them, you're the programmer. And what does that mean? That means is your lifestyle, how you exercise, your diet, amount of stress you have in your life, which you can control. All of that impacts what genes are turned on and off. But along with that, the information that you know about how cells age, how your bodies age, what your body needs, and the Jeunesse products in general, all add to helping you become the ideal programmer. And no matter what level of health you think you're in right now, you think you're in good health, you have the potential to be in much better health. And that's what we're all about here at Jeunesse, to help you with that information. So let's take a quick look at what I've done, my son's done, Danian's done, Stefania's done, and about over 1,000 people of my patients have done, because what does the future bring for all of us? Look, if we have our stem cells stored, all three types of stem cells, we have the option every year to boost those numbers and to put back even more functional cells than we've ever had. So when I had my cells collected, this was, I was 60 at this time. I'm going to be 70 next year. No one believes that, so I'll give you the truth. That's my age. My son had his collected at 25. Now, my cells are still in pretty good shape, but our research has now allowed us to take stem cells that are 60, 70, or 80 and turn them back into what 25-year-old stem cells functionally can do. Now, that's going to be another whole dramatic breakthrough in keeping us healthier and functioning more youthful. Now, my son, because he got him collected before he was 40, is never going to have that done, but those cells are there for him. God forbid, should he get an illness or be in a bad accident, we can help him with the cells so he recovers quicker and has less of a chance of complications. Now, why is this important to get your stem cells collected? Okay, let's take a look at this. This is not science fiction. This is what we're doing today. This is a new bladder grown from the animal's own stem cells. This, on the bottom right, is a new set of lungs grown from an animal that had his stem cells collected. And here's a new heart grown from an animal that had their stem cells collected. And here actually is the beginning of a new ear that can be completely reproduced with the animal's old stem cells. Now, these organs have been produced not only in the lab, but they've actually been put back into dogs and rabbits. And basically, they have a new heart or a new lung because they had their stem cells available to create these new organs. The organ transplant business, and before, I would say in the next decade, 10 to 15 years, will be a thing of the past. But the secret is to keep your stem cells in great shape and hopefully get them collected for future use. So in summary, the power of AM/PM, what is it? It is a revolutionary approach to cellular health. It's an upgrade in our genetic software, and it's been designed to help improve both the quality of our lives and the health of our lives. It's the foundation of the Yes system. This was, okay, this was just one of my karate pictures, and I don't know if Fabian has this one, but I don't know how it got in there. It shouldn't have been at the bottom of my thing. But bottom line is this. Look, we all have to push ourselves too. As we get older, we should be exercising, and we should never think we're too old to do something new or different. And that's what keeps us all going and looking our best, feeling our best. And I'll summarize everything up in the following. You know, human beings, the secret to be a happy, successful human being is very simple. It's called the 3 Ps. What's that? Well, you have to get up every morning with a purpose. And if you're in Jeunesse, your purpose is perhaps to build the most successful downline. Perhaps your purpose along with that is to have a successful marriage and a great family. But you have to have a purpose. Maybe your purpose is to be a better skier, but we all need a purpose. The second thing is we need passion. We have to have the energy to make that purpose accomplish that purpose. And if we're not in good health, we don't have that. And the last thing is people or persons. So you have to be surrounded by the people who encourage you or at least accept your passion and your purpose for you to be successful. And that is in reference to a spouse and to the people you hang out on a regular basis. And one of the big assets of Jeunesse is you're surrounded by people who have the same purpose too. You're surrounded by people who are passionate, and you're surrounded by people who not only accept your purpose in Jeunesse, but are there to help you. So I believe we all in Jeunesse are blessed with having the 3 Ps around us to be healthy and happy human beings and to share all the information we have together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. G. This was absolutely impressive, and it's so great to see the effects on those products on the human body. It's impressive, the research, the insights that you have, and thank you so much for sharing it. It's really, really a pleasure. Thank you so much. I'm going to hand over the conversation to Fabian, who is going to give now a quick German recap on a few of the things that you said. And I'm sure you're going to remember every single detail. No, but just like a general overview, I know that Fabian, also you have a lot of knowledge. Again, Dr. G, thank you so much. It was really, really amazing and always great to see you. My pleasure.
And we already had so many conversations, but that's actually what I got out of this one. So it's always so much of incredible information, and it's crazy how quick everything evolves. Because, I mean, the last conversation we had was, I think, in May in Bora Bora. I even remember when you got the message that the SIRT1 gene was actually found, and you were so excited about that you finally have a proof. And but there's already so many new things since that short period of time. It's crazy. Cool. So yeah, once again, thank you very much. I love the closing, like purpose, passion, people. That's a super cool thing, like the 3P. And you can count on us whenever you need any one of us to help you out with anything, whatever it is, let us know. And if we have to fly over with 500 people to support you somewhere, this crew is ready to do it. And I think everybody will get some AM PM now. Yeah.
Thank you, and have a great evening, everybody.
You too. Thanks once again, and see you soon.
See you soon.
So guys, let's switch to German. And I have no idea how I am going to do this.
So. Ja, Fabi, du bist ja derjenige, der das alles komplett schon drauf hat. Du kannst ja eigentlich noch mal kurz einen Recap machen einfach.
Super, super gute Idee. Okay, so, also wir schwingen jetzt rüber ins Deutsche und ich habe mir ein paar Sachen notiert. Und ich möchte euch wirklich diesmal ein ganz, ganz kurzes Recap geben, weil die ganze PowerPoint ist so enorm vielschichtig. Ich werde ihn auch mal fragen, ob wir die PowerPoint nutzen dürfen. Wir haben auf jeden Fall den Record, den werden wir rausgeben, sodass jeder noch mal alles durchgehen kann. Was er am Anfang gesagt hat, der komplette Blog, den schicke ich natürlich durch alle Gruppen durch. Also ihr werdet alle diesen Anfangspart, die ersten 15 Minuten, werdet ihr alle bekommen. So, ich versuche das mal ganz kurz zusammenzufassen. Erstmal vom Thema Stammzellen her. Was sind Stammzellen? Worum geht es bei Stammzellen? Und warum haben wir jetzt gerade was an der Hand, was außergewöhnlich ist im Vergleich zu allem anderen, was es draußen gibt? Und zwar erstmal grundsätzlich das Thema Stammzellen. Also, Wir wissen heute, und mit wir meine ich die Menschen, nicht ich bin kein Wissenschaftler, ja, muss an der Stelle natürlich jetzt auch nochmal sagen, weil ich das jetzt noch weiter aufzeichne. Allerdings werde ich Facebook jetzt mal ausmachen. Auf Facebook muss es ja nicht gestreamt werden. Also, liebe Leute, schöne Grüße an alle, die auf Facebook sich reingeklinkt haben. Ich klinke euch jetzt aus, weil ab jetzt geht es in die Übersetzung. Nicht, dass ich hier noch irgendwas Falsches sage und das nachher gegen mich verwendet wird. Man weiß ja nie. Also, jetzt switchen wir auf intern und machen natürlich das Recording trotzdem weiter. So. Ein kleiner Augenblick, Stop Livestream. So, Recording läuft weiter. Also, an der Stelle trotzdem nochmal sei gesagt, ich bin kein Wissenschaftler, kein Mediziner, kein Apotheker. Ich kann, darf und will keine Heilaussagen treffen, sondern ich versuche in bestem Wissen und Gewissen jetzt die Informationen weiterzugeben, die Dr. G als Experte uns eben gegeben hat. Sollte da irgendwas nicht hundertprozentig korrekt sein, sei es mir zu verzeihen. Okay? Also, Thema Stammzellen. Was wir heute wissen, was die Menschheit heute weiß, was die Wissenschaft heute weiß, ist im Prinzip das, was auch schon Dr. Drapeau gesagt oder Christian Drapeau gesagt hat. Je mehr Stammzellen wir zur Verfügung haben, umso besser für den Körper. Ja, richtig. Jetzt habe ich mich rechtlich abgesichert. So. Flori, this one is the German recap, just for you to know. So if you don't speak German, it makes no sense for you to stay here, because the English part is over. Also für alle diejenigen, die kein Deutsch sprechen, die können jetzt ruhig den Chat verlassen. Also, wichtig ist zu verstehen, wie funktioniert Alterung. Und zwar zum einen gibt es einen Stammzellenpool. Ich versuche das mal ganz kurz aufzuzeichnen. Und zwar das, was er eben erklärt hat, ist super interessant, wenn man das einmal verstanden hat. Und zwar, ja, jetzt natürlich die Frage, warum ich hier kein Whiteboard habe. Dann mache ich es halt auf dem Blatt Papier, ganz klassisch, auch kein Problem. Und zwar, was Dr. G gesagt hat, ist, wir haben einen gewissen Pool an Stammzellen im Körper. Ich zeichne euch das jetzt mal auf und zeige euch das dann auch. Und der sieht so aus. Das ist jetzt eine sehr schlechte Zeichnung, aber das hier ist jetzt quasi die Zeit, okay? Entschuldigung, das ist der Pool der Stammzellen, das ist die Zeit. Wenn wir geboren sind, also wenn wir ganz frisch auf der Welt sind, haben wir unglaublich viele Stammzellen im Körper. Der Körper kann sich sehr, sehr schnell regenerieren, kann sehr schnell Reparaturprozesse ausüben. Und mit der Zeit, wenn wir älter werden, wird aber dieser Pool an Stammzellen immer weniger aufgrund der Alterungsprozesse. Parallel dazu, die Zellen, die aber schon im Körper sind, die verschwinden ja nicht irgendwo hin, sondern viele von denen werden sogenannte senescente Zellen. Senescente Zellen, hat er eben gesagt, mit dem, einfach zu merken, Zombiezellen, okay? Das heißt tote Zellen. Und die Anzahl an toten Zellen wird über die Jahre natürlich immer mehr, ja? So, die sammeln sich hier an. Und das hier ist im Prinzip der Punkt, wo der Tod eingeleitet wird. Ja, das ist, was er im Prinzip gesagt hat. Ne? Stammzellenpool wird weniger, senescente Zellen werden mehr. Das ist der Punkt, wo sich die treffen, wo es dann zu irgendeinem Organversagen kommt oder wo im Prinzip dann der Zelltod oder der gesamte Körpertod eingeleitet wird. Heute kann man das übrigens schon messen. Das weiß ich aus einer Konversation mit ihm. Man kann die senescenten Zellen messen, man kann die Stammzellen messen. Also es ist essentiell für uns, dafür zu sorgen, dass der Stammzellenpool so lange wie möglich, so hoch wie möglich bleibt. Und dass wir dadurch natürlich auch weniger von diesen senescenten oder Zombiezellen produzieren. Ja? Das ist also der Hintergrund. So, und wenn wir jetzt hingehen und alles dafür tun, um unseren Stammzellenpool so gesund wie möglich zu halten, dann er hat eine ganze Liste, also an Nährstoffen und so weiter, was man alles machen kann. Und ich will da gar nicht jetzt auf alles eingehen. Und ehrlich gesagt müsste ich jetzt auch auf die PowerPoint gucken, um das irgendwie zu tun. Ich fasse es also dementsprechend mal zusammen. Also, Training, ganz wichtig. Wichtiger Satz, je mehr Körperfett du hast, umso mehr Entzündungen hast du im Körper. Je mehr Entzündungen du im Körper hast, umso schneller alterst du. Also ganz wichtig ist es, fit zu sein, Körperfett abzubauen, Muskelmasse aufzubauen. Ja, das ist ein ganz, ganz wichtiger Punkt. Der nächste Punkt ist natürlich ausgewogene, gesunde Ernährung. Braucht man jetzt nicht drüber viel zu philosophieren. Ich glaube, das ist logischer Menschenverstand, ja, dass wir das alle wissen. Und dann das Wichtigste ist natürlich Exercise, also Bewegung, Ernährung und Schlaf. Und Schlaf hat er ganz viel drüber gesprochen. Er hat ganz oft gesagt, pass auf, Schlaf, wir wissen heute, der Mensch braucht 7 Stunden Schlaf. Wenn du weniger als 7 Stunden schläfst im Schnitt, dann ist dein Risiko für Herz-Kreislauf-Erkrankungen, für, was hat er noch alles gesagt, Schlaganfälle und ähnliches, 6-mal höher. Ja, 6-mal höher als beim Durchschnittsmenschen. Also Schlaf ist extrem wichtig für ganz, ganz viele Demenz. Vielen Dank, Stefanie. Demenz unter anderem. Also Dinge, die im Prinzip kann man sagen, viele von den degenerativen Krankheiten, aber auch kardiovaskulären Krankheiten sind hochrisikoreich, wenn du zu wenig schläfst. Ja? Also ganz wichtig, viel schlafen, aber nicht jetzt, weil jetzt bauen wir auf. Ja, aber guckt einfach, dass ihr eure 7 Stunden Schlaf habt. Ne? Und dann passt das. So, und jetzt kam der interessante Teil zum Thema AM/PM, zum Thema Reserve, zum Thema Revitablu, zum Thema Zen. Die Wissenschaftler haben sich diese kompletten Produkte mittlerweile in einer Kollaboration oder unter einem Dach der Kollaboration angeschaut. Dr. G arbeitet mit Christian Drapeau zusammen, Mark McDonald arbeitet mit Dr. G zusammen und mit Christian. Und jetzt geht es gerade darum, wie ist die Synergie, beziehungsweise wie multiplizieren sich die Produkte untereinander? Was bedeutet das für dich? Zum Ersten, und ich nehme das jetzt mal vorweg, weil das war im Prinzip das Highlight am Ende, aber ich war live dabei, als Dr. G die Nachricht bekommen hat. Da waren wir auf Bora Bora, haben wir zusammen am Strand gesessen. Ich muss an der Stelle nochmal sagen, Dr. G ist echt eine coole Socke, okay? Der Typ ist halt, der hat ein Netzwerk, da fällst du rückwärts vom Stuhl, ja? Wen der alles kennt und mit wem der alles arbeitet. Und ich gebe euch jetzt mal eine Insider-Information. Ihr kennt wahrscheinlich Dr. David Sinclair. Ja, so Dr. David Sinclair von der Harvard University, der sehr stark im Bereich Molekularmedizin unterwegs ist, der die ganzen TED-Talks macht zum Thema Resveratrol, der für die amerikanische Regierung arbeitet, im Bereich Viren erkennen, im Bereich biologische Waffen sogar. Das ist total crazy. So dieser Typ, dieser absolute Brain, ist ein Patient von Dr. G. Ja, und warum kann ich das sagen? Weil er selber das gesagt hat in einem Podcast. Ja, so es ist total verrückt, mit welchen Leuten, auf welchem Level er sich da umgibt, aber hängt halt dann mit uns in Bora Bora am Strand rum und geht surfen. Ne? Also ist ein richtig cooler Typ. Deswegen mag ich ihn so gerne. Gut, so. Dann, er hat diese Nachricht bekommen, dass AM/PM das sogenannte SIRT1-Gen aktiviert. Und dieses SIRT1-Gen ist im Prinzip das Überlebensgen. Das ist auch das, worüber wir immer sprechen, die Sirtuine. Ja? Dieses Gen wird also nachweislich aktiviert bei Einnahme von AM/PM über eben diesen Zeitraum von 8 beziehungsweise, Entschuldigung, es waren 1D, 2D, 3D, also 3 Wochen. Ja, hat man diesen Verlauf gesehen auf diesen schwarzen Plättchen, ihr erinnert euch vielleicht, das war quasi die Genanalyse und das Gen wurde immer mehr expressiert. Es ist also nachgewiesen, dass das Überlebensgen, also das Langlebigkeitsgen, bei der Einnahme von AM und bei der Einnahme von PM definitiv aktiviert wird. Aber nicht nur dieses, sondern es gab noch weitere Gene, die aktiviert werden. Nicht nur dieses eine zum Thema Stammzellen, also AM/PM sorgt auch dafür, dass mehr gesunde Stammzellen im Körper unterwegs sind und somit weniger senescente, also Zombiezellen. Also dieser ganze Vortrag, den er gerade gemacht hat, war hochwissenschaftlich, hoch beeindruckend, aber gut verständlich, wenn man natürlich Englisch spricht, logischerweise. Ich hoffe, dass ich euch eine ganz kleine Zusammenfassung geben konnte. Ja, ich will es jetzt auch nicht ausufern lassen. Wenn ihr noch irgendwelche Fragen habt, wo ich helfen kann, lasst uns noch 10 Minuten ein kurzes Q&A machen, also Questions and Answers, Fragen und Antworten. Und dann versuche ich da noch das eine oder andere zu beantworten, falls es noch was gibt, was ich vergessen habe. Ja? Aber grundsätzlich auch die Kombination, er sagt, AM/PM mit Zen Prime und Zen Fuse ist ein absoluter Multiplier. Ja? Das gleiche, wenn du AM/PM nimmst und Luminous, dann ist das auch wieder ein Multiplier. Und ich habe noch 2 Worte, die ich dazu loswerden möchte. Das eine ist, was Dr. G im Prinzip macht, wir haben da viel drüber gesprochen und er hat gesagt, was wir machen ist Bio-Enhancement. Ich weiß nicht, wer noch die Serie kennt, der 6 Millionen Dollar Mann. Das ist so für die Älteren unter euch, ja, die vielleicht schon über 38 sind oder so. Ja. Der 6 Millionen Dollar Mann war so der Typ, der hat halt 6 Millionen Dollar gekostet und der war halt komplett verbessert. Ja? Also biologische Verbesserung mit Roboterarmen und genetisch und alles drum und dran. So, das Ding ist, dass das im Prinzip das ist, wo Dr. G sich sehr viel mit beschäftigt. Also wie kannst du das Maximale aus deinem Körper rausholen? Wie kannst du die maximale Gesundheit erreichen? Wie kannst du die maximale Energie erreichen? Wie kannst du die maximale Konzentration erreichen? All diese Dinge, also wie kommst du auf eine biologische Verbesserung? Und da setzt AMPM in der Kombination eben mit den anderen Produkten an. So, und wichtig dabei ist auch der Zeitverlauf, dass er sagte, hey, die Leute in den Studien, wir haben 8 Wochen und 12 Wochen gemacht. Nach 8 Wochen waren die Leute teilweise bei 50% Verbesserung im Schlaf, in Energie, in Konzentration, in Gesundheit. Aber nach 12 Wochen waren die teilweise bei über 88%. Von daher ist es auf jeden Fall ein Produkt, was du langfristig nehmen sollst. Ja, und kannst natürlich auch. Und vor allem auch in der Kombination mit den anderen Produkten. Also ich würde jetzt auf jeden Fall mal sagen, dass wir alle mal ganz schnell wieder AMPM bestellen sollten. Ich habe noch eine gute Nachricht übrigens für alle diejenigen, die gesagt haben, ich vermisse die Tabletten. Ja, wir arbeiten daran, dass die Tabletten wiederkommen. Für alle diejenigen, die gesagt haben, ich liebe das Pulver, aber da ist zu viel Zucker drin. Auch das ist jetzt geändert worden. Da kommt jetzt die Monk Fruit rein, also gar kein Zucker mehr. Ja, auch das ist mit Dr. G schon erledigt. Es gab viele Lizenzierungsprobleme, das war das Ding, weil in bestimmten Regionen in Europa ist es nicht erlaubt, eine gewisse Menge an Süßungsmitteln zu überschreiben. Aber das ist jetzt mittlerweile geklärt, also zu überschreiten. Und da war halt verhältnismäßig zu viel drin. Jetzt kommt der Witz, pass auf, ich erkläre euch das ganz kurz, warum. Und zwar, weil wie sagt man, da wo man die Lizenz macht, die haben das Pulver gemessen und haben gesagt, okay, prozentual ist zu viel Zucker im Pulver. So, und dann hat Jeunesse argumentiert und gesagt, aber das ist doch ein Getränk. Es geht doch gar nicht drum. Es sind doch 200 Milliliter Gesamtgewicht am Ende. Und jetzt macht das nur noch 1 Gramm aus. Das ist halt prozentual nichts. Wir sprechen halt um 0,5%. Und dann haben die gesagt, naja, aber dann müssen wir das jetzt als Getränk zulassen und wieder von vorne anfangen. Also mit solchen Dingern beschäftigt man sich dann. Ne? Also völlig Banane. Anyways, so, die Fragen werde ich noch ganz kurz beantworten. Warum gibt es das in Brasilien nicht? Ich habe keine Ahnung, kann ich nichts zu sagen. Das Pulver ist mir lieber, das ist auch gut. Beste Company der Welt, kann ich bestätigen. Geil ohne Zucker ist auch gut. Ich suche noch Fragen.
Während du nach Fragen suchst, Fabi, kann ich ja mal ganz kurz den aktuellen Zwischenstand durchgeben.
Perfekt.
So. Will jemand wissen oder brauchen wir heute nicht?
Ja, wenn es sein muss. Wenn es sein muss.
Will keiner wissen.
Schreib mal kurz, ob Daniel mal den aktuellen Zwischenstand raushauen soll. Sieht gut aus. 10 Leute wollen es sehen.
Ja.
Ist auch perfekt, weil ab jetzt sind meine ganzen Fragen weg und dann habe ich gleich frei. Danke, Daniel.
Jo, 916.000. Ich weiß, wir alle wollten die Million, aber das wäre dann natürlich auch sehr, sehr krass gewesen. Aber
wenn jeder noch ein paar AMPM bestellt, mache ich mir da keine Sorgen.
tomorrow is the day. Ich habe ein Feeling. Tomorrow is the day. Oder? Morgen wäre schon mega. Letzten Monat hatten wir es übrigens übermorgen. Letzten Monat hatten wir es am 20. Ich habe extra nachgeschaut. Also, wenn wir es morgen schaffen, das wäre natürlich mega, mega mäßig. Aber ich glaube, jetzt, wo jeder auf AMPM geht und mal 50 Packungen bestellt. Nein, Spaß beiseite. Leute, übrigens, die iPad-Gewinner flattern rein ohne Ende. Es ist sensationell. Ihr seid ja total crazy. Ich weiß nicht, ob auch gestern die Strategie-Session vielen geholfen hat. Wie fandet ihr die Strategie-Session gestern? Darf ich kurz mal Feedback kriegen von Fabi mir zum Thema Incentives? War gut? Sehr schön. Sehr gut. Ja. Also iPads, iPhones, die Promo läuft auf jeden Fall safe. Und wer noch nicht dabei ist, es ist noch nicht zu spät.
Da fällt mir noch ein kleiner Cheat ein gerade. wer noch dem Daniel noch ein iPad aus der Tasche luchsen will, für die
Darf
jetzt...
das erstmal approven, bitte vorher.
Also, für diejenigen von euch, die sagen, pass auf, ich will jetzt das komplette Immunbooster-Programm hier haben mit Affinity und Revita Blue und Reserve und AMPM. Es gibt in den Market Specials, habe ich gestern vorgestellt, halt ein Paket, wo alles drin ist und das hat einen unglaublichen CV zu Euro-Value, weil du kriegst nämlich für 1.000 Euro kriegst du 500 CV plus 25 Travel Points plus noch einen $100 Bonus-Credit dazu.
What?
Yep. Und jetzt kannst du natürlich hingehen, jetzt muss der Danny kurz die Ohren zuhalten, jetzt kannst du natürlich hingehen, dir einen Holding-Spot einschreiben.
Irgendwie die Verbindung, die Verbindung ist ganz komisch. Hört ihr noch? Ich höre gar nicht. Fabi, wir hören dich leider nicht mehr. Fabian?
Dir darauf einen Holding-Spot machen und hast die ganzen Produkte und hast einmal mehr als 300 Punkte bestellt und für diesen CV-Wert bekommst du das nirgendwo sonst, weil ja auch kein Cap-Bonus an irgendjemand geht, sondern du die ganzen Punkte bekommst. Nur
Im
so
Grunde hast du dann quasi noch ein Drittel iPad dabei schon. So eine Scheibe iPad, die kommt auch noch mit dem Bonus-Credit.
Richtig. Bringt mich gerade auf eine Idee. Ich muss mich gleich mal kurz ausklinken und noch ein paar Holding-Spots bauen.
Dann, kannst du das noch mal bitte ganz kurz zeigen, das Pack?
Aber
das ist ja schon wirklich sehr hart. Wenn du sagst, es kostet 1.000 Euro nur und du hast sogar direkt einen Cashback von 100, dann sind es ja quasi 900 für 500. Das ist ja Rekord. Das ist ja besser als alles andere.
Ja, und du hast noch Travel Points, ne, für die nächste Promo, die kommt.
Also von den Packs her ist das auf jeden Fall safe das Beste im ganzen Backoffice dann, wenn es so ist. Also was der Fabi gerade gesagt hat, nochmal langsam, für die, die es nicht verstanden haben. Du kannst ja, wenn du jetzt sagen willst, du willst diesen kompletten Immunboost für dich haben, jetzt für die Produkte, für dich selber zum Benutzen, so wirklich intensiv mal auf die Produkte gehen. Wir hatten jetzt Drapeau drauf, wir hatten jetzt Giampapa drauf. Und er sagt, es gibt ein neues Paket, was er uns gleich zeigen wird, was alles das drin hat. AMPM, Revita Blue, wahrscheinlich dann auch Dingsbums Reserve. Und auf jeden Fall hat das Pack wohl für 1.000 Euro 500 CV plus und Bonus-Credit und Travel-Punkte schon für die nächste Promo. Zeig mal her.
Boom.
Dieses Powerful Supercharge Package.
Yes.
Nice. Nice. Ja, das ist nice.
Mal ein bisschen ran hier, damit man es besser sehen kann. So.
Okay, da hast du, wow, und du hast sogar noch, findet ihr auch noch, das heißt, du hast 4-mal Reserve, so sieht man es sehr gut, ja, 4-mal Reserve, 4-mal Revita Blue, 4-mal Affinity, AMPM, also hast du quasi für 4 Monate, wenn du so willst, mal dein intensives Programm. Ja, also, nochmal in ganz langsam, also, du machst Folgendes, du bestellst selber dein Alu-Cleanse, das sowieso, damit du in die Promo reingehst, Schritt 1, mindestens 25 Alu-Cleanse, das ist der erste Schritt und schickst mir eine E-Mail, dass du es gemacht hast. Der zweite Step ist dass du dann ja 3 Leute sponsern musst mit 300 Punkten. Ich gebe übrigens hier meine E-Mail-Adresse nochmal rein, weil irgendeiner bestimmt gleich fragt. So, und jetzt ist ja der zweite Step dass du 3 Leute sponsorst, 300 Punkte. Und Fabi sagt jetzt, du kannst dir ja auch einen Holding-Spot machen, in dem Fall auch ohne Founder, also machst nur eine 29 Euro Registrierung quasi, gehst dann ins Backoffice rein, in diesem Holding-Spot und bestellst dieses Pack. Und dann hast du ja dadurch ein neues Enrollment mit 500 CV und hast einen von den 3 schon erledigt und tust quasi einfach das Pack nicht auf dich selber bestellen, sondern bestellst es, warte mal, helfe ich jetzt gerade meinem Team, mich selber zu cheaten? Okay, ist egal. Also auf jeden Fall, genau, machst also quasi die Bestellung von diesem Pack nicht auf dich selber, sondern halt auf einen Holding-Spot, der dir gehört. Gehst da rein und kaufst es dort und dann hast du dadurch ja ein Sign-up schon, genau von den 3.
Ist mir gerade so eingefallen.
Das ist gut. Können wir noch ein bisschen draufbleiben? Mal gucken, was dir noch so einfällt.
Cool. So, Fragen gab es ja keine mehr. Genau, die Travel Points gehen dann natürlich an den Holding Spot. Das ist richtig. Da muss man damit leben. Kommt drauf an, ob man...
Aber, stimmt, die Travel Points sind in dem Fall wirklich verloren. Das ist ein sehr guter Einwand. Aber, pass auf, der Bonus-Credit kannst du trotzdem verwenden. Weil du kannst mit dem Bonus-Credit einen Token erstellen und kannst den dann auf deinem Hauptaccount oder irgendeinem anderen Account nutzen. Das heißt, die $100 sind nicht verloren. Gut, oder? So, jetzt Fabi, kannst du noch mal kurz Epigenetik erklären? Epigenetik?
Okay, wie kann man noch mal ganz einfach Epigenetik erklären? Also, es gab mal 2 Wissenschaftler aus Russland, die haben eine Stammzelle von einem Frosch genommen und haben diese einmal geteilt. Stammzelle Frosch 1, Stammzelle Frosch 2. Dann haben die diese Stammzelle vom ersten Frosch in eine Petrischale gepackt, haben sie normal wachsen lassen.
Warum heißt die Petrischale?
Bitte?
Warum heißt die eigentlich Petrischale?
Weil der Peter die erfunden hat. Das war aber ein kleiner Peter und der hieß Petri. Verstehst du?
Okay.
So, die zweite Stammzelle kam auch in eine Petrischale, wurde aber ein bisschen geärgert. Man hat Vibrationen drunter gelegt, man hat verschiedene Lichtspektren benutzt, man hat verschiedene Nährstoffe reingeführt und die Idee war, herauszufinden, wann hat die Zelle vermehrtes oder beschleunigtes Wachstum und wann wächst sie gar nicht mehr. Am Ende des Versuches ist Folgendes rausgekommen. In der ersten Stammzelle, die ist natürlich, klar, ein gesunder Frosch geworden. Die zweite Stammzelle ist ein gesunder Salamander geworden. Und das war das erste Mal, dass man im Prinzip die Biologie komplett auf den Kopf gestellt hat, weil es ja grundsätzlich die gleiche Grundgenetik war, 100% identisch, aber damit war bewiesen, dass der Einfluss der Umwelt extrem viel ausmacht. Wir haben 98,9% von einem Gorilla. Wir sehen aber nicht aus wie ein Gorilla. Also manche von uns, aber nicht alle. Ja? So, und Hintergrund ist, also die Genetik ist gleich, aber es sind andere Gene aktiviert. Julius Richard Petri, dass du das nicht wusstest, Daniel. Also
so.
Weiß doch jeder.
Deswegen habe ich doch mein Team.
Richtig. Also das ist Epigenetik schnell erklärt. Kann man mal googeln. Oder es gibt noch eine zweite Erklärung, die auch recht einfach ist, die Dr. G mir mal gesagt hat. Stell's dir vor wie eine CD. Die Gene sind die CD und die Epigenetik ist der CD-Player, der im Prinzip die Information liest. Ich glaube, das ist die einfachste Variante.
Awesome. So, ich muss jetzt wieder ein paar Sign-ups machen, ein paar Einschreibungen. Macht's gut, schönen Abend.
Ja, tschüss.
Oh, und denkt daran, morgen Abend, ich will kein Gejammer hören. Es wird kein Recording geben und wir werden es auch nicht nochmal zeigen. Und auch wenn ihr mir eine Nachricht schickt, werde ich es euch nicht per SMS schicken und auch nicht per WhatsApp. Wir werden morgen Abend ein einziges Mal live um 22:02 Uhr das Video ausstrahlen, die Aufnahme der geheimen Konversation von mir und Dirk Kräuter. Vertraut mir, die Luft elektrisiert. Wir haben irgendwie den Vibe getroffen in dem Gespräch. Das war Magic. Es war ein Magic Moment und wir haben den auf Kamera und ich darf ihn nicht rausgeben und wir dürfen ihn nicht streamen und nicht aufnehmen. Und aus diesem Grund unbedingt morgen drauf sein. Und mein Tipp, wenn du irgendjemanden aus deinem Team mal so richtig anzünden willst, der wirklich sagt, ach du Scheiße, für die letzten 14 Tage in diesem Monat werde ich komplett alles geben. Ich weiß, es gibt keine 14 Tage mehr, aber ich sage mir das einfach so. Ihr kennt ja schon die Strategie. Auf jeden Fall, dann habt ihr morgen Abend auf dem Call.
Und eine Frage habe ich noch. Kann es sein, dass du morgen noch einen geheimen Special Guest announcen wirst? Oder ist es noch nicht so weit? Ich weiß es nicht. Ich frage nur.
Es könnte eventuell sein, dass ich morgen euch die größte Nachricht ever gebe. Aber das kann sein.
Aber das ist dann auch nur für die Leute, die da sind, glaube ich, ne?
Ja, dann nur für die Leute, die da sind, ja.
Okay, da muss man halt gucken, dass man dabei ist. Ich wollte es nur
gucken, dass man auf jeden Fall morgen dabei ist, ja, am besten.
So, ihr Lieben.
Also, bis dann, freue mich. Let's do it. Gute Nacht.